It will be the best opportunity for us to commemorate the June 12th struggle.
The first one is, you talked about the future.
A public holiday in Nigeria. You will recall that MKO Abure won the 1993 presidential election, which was annulled by the then military head of state, President Badamasi Ibrahim Babangida. And that cancellation resulted in a widespread condemnation and serious agitation for democracy in Nigeria. That victory was described as one of the best elections that was held in the history of the country, because for the first time, it brought all Nigerians together. Nigerians were all united in their voting, and he won massively, both in the north and in the south. And Nigerians felt that it was an election that would have been allowed to stay, because the slogan of that election was hope. And therefore, Nigerians were united, both from the north and the south. All spheres of Nigeria's citizens were in unison that that election was a symbol of unity, was a symbol of democracy, was a symbol of hope, was a symbol for the rule of law, and so on and so forth. Shortly after, there was massive protest after the annulment, and the struggle went on for years. Nigeria was almost in comatose as a result of that protest. And you will recall that Abure eventually paid with his life. Not just with his life. His wife, Kudirat Abure, was also killed and died in the process. Abure's businesses were all destroyed in the process. We can recall Concord newspaper and a host of other businesses which Abure was running then. They all went under the drain as a result of that struggle of June 12th. That struggle went on and on and on, and eventually culminated into the enthronement of democracy in Nigeria in 1999, with President Olusegun Obasanjo becoming the beneficiary of that struggle. We have had democracy, no doubt, but you will agree with me that in as much as we have had democracy, democracy has not in effect reflected in the life of the people in terms of better life, in terms of welfare for the people of Nigeria. As we speak today, the very minimum that is provided by the Constitution is unable to be guaranteed by this government. Section 17 or 18 of the 1999 Constitution is very clear, it's very unambiguous, that the principal purpose of government shall be the provision of security and welfare for its citizens. In fact, Section 18 went ahead to provide that the resources of the country, that the natural resources of the country, that the natural resources of the country and the national economy must be managed in such a way that will give maximum welfare to the citizens of the country. Today, Nigerians are not asking for welfare. Nigerians are asking for security. We have no security. This current government cannot provide security for the lives of people. Not to talk about welfare. Nigerians are today asking, just preserve our lives, protect our lives. We are not even asking for water. We are not asking for healthcare. We are not asking for education. But just keep us alive so that we can live our lives and get other things for ourselves. But this government is unable to provide that minimum benefit for our people, which is security for lives and property. And therefore, this is the crux of the matter today, that in as much as we celebrate democracy, that we have had democracy, it has not reflected in the life of the people. Today, over 80 million Nigerians are living below the poverty line. Nigerians are suffering. Poverty is holding sway. There's hunger, there's unemployment at a very, very high level. The high rate of inflation is also unimaginable. The inflation rate today is double-digit inflation. And what does this mean? This means that existing incomes cannot provide the basic needs for the citizens. And this is the crux of the matter. In as much as we have had democracy, it is not yet to huru for the people of Nigeria. And therefore, as we commemorate the enthronement of democracy today, which is a symbol of June 12, we want to say very clearly that we need to struggle more. I want to therefore use this opportunity to call on Nigerians that the Labour Party have become a symbol of this struggle. And that is why you can see the realignment in the Labour Party. And that is why we have decided that we are going to pick the best presidential candidates we are going to pick the best presidential candidates in the political space. And that's why we arrived at the candidacy of Peter Obi as our presidential candidate, because we believe that among all the presidential candidates, he stands out and is one of the best in terms of character, in terms of antecedent in office, in terms of private business life, name it. He has all the credentials. And that's why for us in Labour Party, we have zeroed on him, because we believe that as at today, he will be able, if he becomes the president, to give Nigeria better life. He will be able to change the narratives in Nigeria, which is currently ongoing in terms of hunger, poverty, unemployment, and so on and so forth. And you can see that Peter Obi have said that he is going to change Nigeria from being a consumption state to a production state. And what does this mean? This means that this essentially is about labor, because labor is the heart of any productive society. And when labor becomes an issue, healthcare becomes an issue, because it will be a necessary ingredient for you to have production. Welfare becomes an issue, because for you to have a productive state, it means that you must provide for the welfare of those who are in those industries who are working. It means that power will become an issue. Education will become an issue, because you can't talk about a productive economy without talking about education, because education will naturally provide the resource that you need to be able to have a productive society. And so the Peter Obi project is in tandem with the Labour Manifesto and our program. And that's why we sincerely believe and want to use this opportunity to call on all Nigerians to embrace Labour Party and its candidates. We symbolize the struggle for better Nigeria. We symbolize we are the answers. We have the answers to the problems and myriad of challenges in Nigeria. And therefore, the June 12th struggle, simpliciter, Labour Party have become the symbol. And that is why we felt that as our own way to commemorate the event, we need to have this engagement with the media, we need to have this engagement with the press, and then use this opportunity to ask Nigerians that they must rise to the occasion. Democracy is by the people, for the people, and by the people. And that essentially means that it is the people that will drive the process. And this is the opportunity that we have once more, especially in 2023, to be able again to decide who will lead the country. And we do not want Nigerians to make the mistake again of voting for those that we already have known their antecedents. We know where they are coming from, and we know where they want to take Nigeria to. And that's why we are appealing to Nigeria that as at now, we should, all those who have not got their PVCs should take advantage of this opportunity, get their PVCs. Those who have not registered should take advantage of the ongoing continuous voters registration exercise to register, get their PVCs, and be ready to do the right thing. I want to believe that doing the right thing in 2023 is voting for Labour Party and voting for his presidential candidate, Peter Obi, which we say is the best. The facts are there that he is the best candidate for now, and he's a man of the moment. And that is why you can see that from the length and breadth of the country, from the north to the south, the presidential candidate that is talked about is Peter Obi, and this is because of his antecedent. I want to appeal to all Nigerians to key into this project, register massively with the Labour Party, be one accord with the Labour Party, and we'll be able to drive the process of development. We'll be able to change the narratives in Nigeria and make Nigeria a better society, a better place, and then Nigerians will be happy that they have made the right decision. Thank you, and God bless you this afternoon.
I think those few questions.
Well, the situation in 1993 is not the same situation now. You will agree with me that the current government have promoted nepotism, tribalism, regionalism. Nigerians are now more divided along ethnic lines more than ever before because of the behavior of the current government, where appointments are lopsided, where issues of fairness, equity, justice are sacrificed when tribalism and religion is in place. And therefore, the situation now and the situation in 1993 are not the same thing. And therefore, the issue of Muslim ticket will obviously not fly. You know, you are aware of these facts, and it is only fair at this point that you can only have a Christian-Muslim ticket, which is equitable, which is in line with the Constitution, because the Constitution too provides that positions must be shared in such a way that will reflect all the geopolitical zones and so on of the Federation. And therefore, the issue of Muslim ticket will obviously not fly at this time. And I've said the reasons are very obvious, because this government, the government of the day that is outgoing, have promoted nepotism, promoted religious division, and so on and so forth. And therefore, having a Muslim ticket now will not fly. We obviously not give people a sense of belonging. The only reasonable thing to do now is to have an equitable ticket where you can have a Muslim, a Christian, and Muslim tickets. And we have just had a Muslim-Christian ticket, having a Muslim in the apex. It is only fair now that you also have a Christian at the apex, and you have you have a Muslim to be the vice president, or the second part of the ticket. This is equitable, it is justifiable, it is reasonable, and I think that in this circumstance, that is the reasonable and the fair thing to do in order to be able to carry all Nigerians along. Any person thinking of Muslim ticket will further widen the division in the country, and I think that will not be good for the country at this time. For the unity, for the togetherness of the country, any person or any aspirant or any candidate who is thinking of a Muslim ticket should go back and think well. And I want to say clearly, without any contradiction, that any candidate who is thinking of that does not mean well for the country. I want to agree with you that to a very large extent, politics now is monetized, but it is monetized to the extent that when the people did not see any difference between one candidate or the other, then they will take the money, and out of frustration they can do the bidding of any of the candidates. But when you have a massive candidates, the money will not work. I can assure you this time that people, Nigerians are already mobilized. Nigerians are tired of the current ruling class. That determination is there to send them packing. And that is why they are panicking about the Labour Party. That's why they are panicking about the candidates. And I'm sure that they have already got the notice that the time is up. Sure. Because it is Bob Marley who said that you can fool the people sometimes, but you can't fool them all the time. So the political oligarchy in Nigeria, or the ruling class, so to speak, must have, if they are wise, if they are getting the feelers, they should know that the time is up. They have fooled the people always, and the time of the people have come. I want to say clearly that no amount of money this time will sway the Nigerian populace. Because after all, even the money they are sharing is for the people. I'm very sure that the people will accept the money and do the right thing at this time. So I want to believe that money politics will not thrive at this time. The people have made up their mind. The people have decided. You can see it from the way they are thinking, from the way they are talking. If you feel the pulse of the people, you will agree with me that they are ready to do the right thing this time. Rumors about alliances and so on, there's nothing wrong in talking with people, but I want to say clearly that the discussion is centered around others coming to work with Peter Obi. Peter Obi is not leaving the party. He's not thinking of vice presidential candidates. I want to make that very, very clear. Peter Obi has told me, and I can say it categorically, that he's not considering the option of vice presidential candidates. Rather, we are looking at a situation where others will simply come and work with him as vice president. So that's where we are. I do not intend to speak so much on this. They said the word is enough for the wise, and we have made that point very, very clear. Labour Party is moving. It's a movement, and it's a movement for the people, and we shall not play second fiddle. It is president or nothing. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you.
It's out of providence that he's from the eastern part of the country, which happens to tally with the current state of affairs, which tallies with the agitation that presidency should go to that part of the country. And it is also not out of place, because if we have taken it to the south, President Olusegun Obasanjo have had it. We've taken it to the north. Yar'Adua had it, and we now have Buhari having it. President Goodluck Jonathan have also had it. And if it's coming to the south now, the fair thing and the reasonable thing to do is to look for the most competent person from the southeastern states and give the ticket. And this was the basis upon which Labour Party did what it did. And for those of you who were in the primaries, you can see that aspirants from other parts of the country willingly stepped down for him, because they felt that he was the best and proper candidate for that position. And so it's not about tribe, it's not about the Igbos, it's about Nigerians, it's about the oppressed Nigerians. And we feel that within the committee of presidential candidates today, he stands out and is going to be the best. And I'm very sure that Nigerians will vote for him, that come 2023, Labour Party will be in Aso Rock. I want to say that it may be too premature for me to start giving you names. The Constitution also gives the power to the presidential candidate to nominate his vice president. So I think that that question would have been more proper to the presidential candidate to answer. I may not be able to comment and to speculate as to who the person is likely to be. But I want to assure you that as a party that is reasonable, as a party that believes in equity and justice, as a party that believes in social justice and equal opportunity for all. The vice presidential candidate will be very, very acceptable with powerful credentials, just as we have a Peter Obi. And is most likely going to come from the northern region. There's no doubt about that.
Okay. I guess that's the last question. Thank you very much for coming. Mr. Chairman, thank you very much for... Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.